Here's another quadratic equation question with complex numbers. Find the solution for the following equation: y equals to 2 times x plus 3 whole square minus 6, where x belongs to complex numbers, right? So the complex numbers means if you get within square root a negative number, we have a solution now. Negative 1 square root is I, or I squared is negative 1. Remember that part, right? Now let's try to find out the solution. When we say solution, it means what? When we say solution, it means what? This is first thing that you need to understand. It means y equals to 0. For what value of x is y 0? That is what we're trying to say, right? So for what value of x is this y 0? That is what we're trying to find out. So we'll just substitute 0 here for y and then figure out what is that value of x which will give us 0, okay? So that is a strategy. So first step is we can bring 6 this side, or let's add 6 both sides. When you add 6 both sides, you get 6 equals to 2 times x plus 3 whole square. So in the first step, we added 6. Now, what we are going to do is we have to divide by 2, right? So when we divide by 2, we get 3 equals to x plus 3 whole square. Now, so this is 3 equals to x plus 3. We can do square root of 3. Whenever you do square root, it is plus minus. We got a positive number in fact, so it may be in the domain of complex numbers, but the solution is really real. Now, domain of complex numbers include real numbers also. Remember that part, right? So we get this as x plus 3, right? Now, we can take 3 on this side and write down what x is, okay? So our solution for the time being is x equals to minus 3 plus minus square root 3. So that is the solution for the given equation, correct? Now, as an added exercise, what you can do here is you can change the sign to positive and then find the solution, right? So let me just write down that question here and continue with that, right? So I'll do next problem for you. That is, I'll change the question. I'll write this as y equals to 2 times x plus 3 whole square plus 6 this time, where x belongs to complex numbers, correct? Now in that case, if I solve, if I take away 6 both sides, I get minus 6 here, equals to 2 times x plus 3 whole square, right? Now if I divide by 2, I get minus 3 equals to x plus 3 whole square. Now if I square root it, I get square root of minus 3 plus minus square root equals to x plus 3. See this. Now when you get square root 3 within square root, you'll say there's no real solution. But we are working on domain of complex numbers. It has a solution. Square root of minus 1 is I. Do you see that? So we could write this as, now we'll bring 3 this side. So it is minus 3, like we had before, plus minus. And we can write this I, that is square root of minus 1, square root of 3, and the value of x, correct? So for this question, we do get a solution which is in the domain of complex numbers, right? And so we can write down our answer here is, so answer here is x is equals to minus 3 plus minus iota square root 3, right? So this problem, when I change it to plus, it becomes in the complex numbers, right? Otherwise, we had a solution here. The first solution was answer as minus 3 plus minus square root of 3, right? Let me just divide this into 2 portions, right? So where this is the first question, where we have minus 6 here. But when I change it to plus 6, I just introduce second question here. Then you see you get negative number under the square root 2, under the square root, right? So when you get a negative number, we move on to complex, imaginary numbers. Square root of negative number is I, and so you can write this as a solution, correct? So that is how we can incorporate complex numbers for the quadratic equations, right? So I hope that helps you to understand the concept. So now there's no more restrictions. We can't say we don't have a solution. We have a solution. But what we can say for sure is that we don't have real roots, right? So here there is a question for you to answer that reminds me, and that is you need to write, so let me write this as my question 1 and this my question 2. Okay, so let me say question 2, right? Now here is a problem for you to answer. How many x-intercepts do we have for equation in question 1, for equation in question 1 and question 2, right? Explain your answer. Right? So you need to explain how many x-intercepts do we have for equations in question 1 and question 2, right? Can you also tell me how many solutions do we have for question 1 and question 2, right? Or how many zeros do we have? So you can change this to three things. Three things is how many zeros, how many solutions, and how many x-intercepts. If you answer these questions, you will appreciate difference between the three things, right? That is very important for you to understand at this stage. Thank you and all the best.